Good evening, Tottenham fans. Happy New Year to everyone. Hope you've had a great time. The ones that have in different countries that have already had your New Year, and Happy New Year to the guys that are just about to celebrate it tonight in the UK. Thank you to everybody that is subscribed to this channel, who's liked this channel, who's had anything to do with this channel, any support you've done. It's really much appreciated, and I hope next year this channel grows even more with your help. Now, Spurs are going to go massive, apparently, for this new striker. And for me, I don't know whether this is going to be a massive 86 million mistake, or is it going to be a genius move? I really don't know. But the league that he plays in, let me just get into it. Look, because this will tell you, right? This was the report I saw today. And it says Tottenham have made an offer worth 86 million to sign FC Porto striker Samu Aghehowa. The 21-year-old has scored 18 goals already this season, added on to his 25 goals from last season, and has now emerged as a top target for Spurs heading into 2026. Now, the first clue here is he plays in Portugal, and we all know Portugal strikers score banging loads of goals, and when they come to the Premier League, they really struggle, aka Victor Gyökeres. He is another one that was banging goals in there. And later on in the video, I'm going to compare the stats between this guy that Spurs are going to try and pay 86 million for compared to Victor Gyökeres, who also played in Portugal. So let's look at this guy. Who is this guy for a start? First of all, he's a 21-year-old. He's already a Spanish international senior player. He's got 4 caps for them already. So that just shows that he has got some talent, because it's not easy to get into the Spanish international team, and that is for sure. Now, this is him 6 games, like the last 6 games he's played this season so far. As you can see, he scored 2 there, scored 2 there, scored 2 there. So he scored 8 goals in the last 6 games now. Look at my maths. I had to struggle there. 6 goals in the last 8 games. But as you can see, the teams he's playing all the teams in the Portuguese league, which means, you know, does anybody really know who these teams are? Malmo, I don't think is in the thing. I think that must have been Europa League. So he must have scored 2 goals in Europa League there. So he scores goals for fun. This guy scores goals. But this is also his stats: 65 games, 40 goals, 4 assists, directly involved in a goal every 105 minutes. So he's a goal machine. He's a goal machine in Portugal, and we have to keep emphasizing that, because there are a lot of players that score a shed load of goal in Portugal, but as soon as they come to the Premier League, they massively struggle. So this was his scout report. Let me just read this to you. I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen, but he's tall. He's 6'4", so he's a big lad. He's still only 21 years old, with brute force, great acceleration and strength to hold up play and win duels. Intelligent movement in the final third, creating separation and finding space for finishes, often making quick sprints after link-up play. Finishing, he's a natural goal scorer inside the box, quick to shoot with conviction, consistently getting into prime scoring positions. High work rate, tenacious pressing and defensive commitment, tracking back and helping compact the team. Good at 1-2s and bringing others into play, using his strength to receive the ball with his back to goal. So he seems like, you know, the perfect striker. A perfect striker that you would want in your side. If he could move all of what he's doing in Portugal and do the same in the Premier League, he would be an absolute monster. He would be a massive handful for anyone. 6'4", very, very quick and very, very strong. That would hurt most defenses. So he sounds good. He looks good. But again, this could be a massive mistake, because he's doing it all in Portugal. It's a massive transition to go from Portugal to England, and we all know this. This is his stats this season. He scored 25 goals in all competitions, including 19 in the Premier League. This was his most prolific campaign to date, as Porto finished third in the league. Now, that was last season. He's already on 18 this season. So he's absolutely ripping it up. Probably scored more goals this season than he was last season. So he's probably going to get more than that 25 goals. But this is a comparison to Gyökeres when he was in the Portuguese league. Now, Gyökeres in the 23-24 season, he scored 43 goals in 50 games. Now, if you've noticed, that's miles more than what we've just seen from Aghehowa, sorry. And in the 24 and 25 season, he scored even more, 54 goals in 52 games. Now, we've seen him play in the Premier League, and he's not impressed. He really hasn't. He scored, I think, 2 or 3 penalties, and he's not been very prolific whatsoever. But you put him in the Portuguese league, he's scoring 50 goals a season. So there's a massive jump between playing in the Portuguese league and then playing in the Premier League. So that could be a massive mistake for Spurs. Again, putting big money on the striker and then the striker flopping. Remember, we spent 60 million on Solanke and near 55 million on Richarlison. So, you know, Richarlison hasn't been like a massive flop. He's just been really injury prone. And now Solanke's really injury prone. I just hope this guy don't come in and become injury prone. But I'm not sure whether this will be a really good move for Spurs. And another reason why is we really need a left winger. We really need a left back. We really need to strengthen our midfield. And we've got 4 strikers at the club at the moment. Do we really need to spend 86 million on a striker and not fill the gaps that we've been needing to fill for quite some time now? Like the left back area and the left wing area really need massive improvement. Not only to cover for your doggy, but Porro needs cover too. And Spence can't cover Porro because he's continually covering your doggy on the left back because he's always injured. So we do need a left back massively, and spending 86 million on a striker would be insane if that was all you was going to do. It really would. But if Spurs were to buy a decent left winger, a decent left back, a decent midfielder, and then splash 86 million on a striker, I don't think anybody would be complaining. He does look very, very good in the Portuguese league. Spain have obviously noticed how good he is, and he plays up front for them too. So he's not a slouch. He's not going to be absolutely crap, but it will be a massive risk to pay that much money for a striker playing in the Portuguese league. Now, if he was doing that in Germany, for instance, like Harry Kane is, and he was keeping up with Harry Kane with the goals, then you could say, you know what, that's worth the risk. But from the Portuguese league, it's too much of a risk. If they said 45 million to 50, it would still be a gamble. If they said 30 million, then yeah, do it straight away. No holds bars, go for it. But for me, 86 million is a lot of money, especially when Spurs need to get their recruitment right. And if they don't get their recruitment right, you know, things can go massively downhill, especially if you're spending that much money. But Thomas Franks likes these big, strong strikers, don't he? He likes it. He's got Wissa. He got him scoring goals for fun. Ivan Toney got him scoring goals for fun. Ivan Toney was strong, fast, and can finish. Same sort of attributes as Samu as well. So, you know, Frank would love this sort of player. But would even Frank spend 86 million on a striker that's playing in Portugal? I'm not really sure. So it could be a risk. It could be a genius move. It could be signing a 21-year-old and having him for the next 10 years. 86 million might seem like a snip if he starts scoring 20, 30 goals every season for us. But it's a big ask. Premier League is a big, big old game to try to get into. You know, we've seen some really, really talented players really struggle in the Premier League. Even players that have done really well in Germany have done really well. Like, look at Xavi. He's taken a while to like move to the Premier League and do well. Do you know what I mean? So, and he was ripping it up where he was before. So it's not simple just to spend 86 million. He must be a good striker. Bring him in and he'll hit the ground running. And you know what? Spurs fans won't give him too much time either if you're going to spend that much money on him either. So there'll be huge pressure on the young lad. And I'm just hoping he'll be able to cope with the pressure, because I don't want to be signing a player for 86 million and all of a sudden 2 years later we're trying to sell him for 25 million. That would be absolutely insane. That will set us backwards again. And, you know, the recruitment will be getting, you know, a lot of criticism once more. So let me know in the comments what you think. Would you sign this guy for 86 million? I showed you his stats. I told you a little bit about him. There's probably a lot more to know about this guy, but you know, it's a massive, massive gamble in my opinion. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year to everybody. Come on, you Spurs.